Hey, what's up? It's Jim with Delta 9 Tasmanian Hybrid Customs. Today's my birthday and I got myself a present. It's this here custom complete. I haven't had a new scooter for quite a few years actually, and even though I've sort of had a few upgrades here and there, haven't had a full new sort of setup. Admittedly, this isn't a full new setup. I'm using my old fork and headset because they were still good, and I can't honestly get anything better than what I had there, so I'm running with that. Everything else is fresh. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that I was getting these parts from Midnight, and I was going to do a mad custom build with Midnight bars and a Midnight fork as well. Yeah, the company's closed down and I'm not quite sure what to make of it, so I haven't got my products yet. To be honest, I don't know if I ever will. They've not responded to my emails. They said they're fulfilling all the orders, but I've got no shipping notifications, I've got nothing of that sort, so fuck knows. Anyway, so I've got a new custom build here for myself. The idea with this one being I wanted to then build the most high-tech scooter that I could today. If I can't have the coolest looking one, then I'll have the one with the best technology on it. So here's a rundown of my parts. For the deck, I've got the Native Advent Refined. It's a 6.25 by 23.5. I've got the Tilt rigid bars. They're a really interesting kind of bar. They're amazingly light is what interests me about them. They're amazingly light for a sort of steel, aluminium, alloy thingy kind of metal. Talk a bit more about it later. I've got the Native Orca SCS, got the Native Versa fork. As I said, this was my previous fork. I've just cleaned it up. It looks almost new. Looks good anyway. Hasn't been that shiny for a long time. Got the Native Emblem grips, my favourite grips. I've got the Jaluka ones, nice sort of brown colour. Sort of going for something what I think of as a bit more modern. Got some United bar ends on there too. Yeah, I want something a bit more modern for this one. Sort of went all sort of purple with the previous one, which was cool, but yeah, I'm going for something a bit more subtle. And wheels by North. So I guess we'll get building. First of all, as usual, we'll remove the brake. Never actually taken the brake off this deck, so I don't know how it attaches. So I always like the way Native do things, so I imagine it should be interesting. Oh yes. So you've got a sort of undercarriage section. That is nice. Oh, it's got little platforms. You can raise it up higher or lower, or raise it up lower. Yeah, you can raise it up higher. Do the opposite of raising it up lower. Alright, so the brake's off. Now time to grip tape. What I really like about the 6.25 wide is that a 6 wide grip tape fits on it perfectly without having to cut it at all. Makes it a lot easier. So it's going to have to go about there. I've never gripped a deck this size before, so this is something new. I think what we want to do So we'll line that corner up along there. I think we've got it. I just need my other trusty tool. Deck ends out. So first cuts around the neck. Did I put it on the right way for me? I did, that's the way I like it. Now, let's fix up the back. Alright, so now I know where I want to cut the grip tape. I'm actually going to do the cutting. Might be easier if you have a knife rather than just a blade for around this area. There we have it. Actually the easiest grip taping I've ever done because of the 625 deck and the 6 grip tape. Didn't need to cut shit, and hopefully that looks good in terms of the perspective of the writing. Oh, that looks perfect. Look at that. It's like a piece of heli grip, you know. It should go on a scooter. If you want some Delta 9 THC grip tape, hit me up on Insta. Delta 9 with a 3 and the 9, you'll see it on the screen probably several times this episode. Bit of a post roll down. And then I'll reattach the brake. While this brake is off, I just want to show you how it works. Like I've got these little plastic plates, so you can reduce the height of the brake or increase the height of the brake. Now, obviously, if these are on it, it's going to push it down lower, isn't it? Okay, that's interesting. Now, I've got this bit that slots in underneath. Not quite sure how it all comes together, but I think it does. Where's the other one? I think it just slips in like so, and then I just think we do the screwing. Deck is gripped and braked. Looking nice, right? Alright, the deck's organised, so I'm just going to set it aside for a minute, and we're going to get the headset, fork and clamp out. I've got a couple of spacers in case we need them. I made a Versa fork, which was a fork I've been running for a year and a half or something now. Great fork, really nice fork. Couldn't find anything better than it, so I'm keeping it. And the Orca SCS, I've liked that for a long time. I've always run the Till Classic for 6-7 years or something like that. Time for a little change up. Thought about the rigid, but native's the way to go. Rigid's also a very nice clamp. Alright, we're doing headset. We've got the Proto Integratron, as I said. It's a really low profile headset. Beautiful bearings. Almost nothing of a top cap. Right, so let's put on our lower bearing. Slide that into the deck. I'm just checking them, they're pretty greasy already. I don't think it needs any more grease. Keep things well looked after, that's why I have things forever. Alright, so put on the Proto headset. And where's the shim from the clamp? So we can run this without spacers or with spacers. So it's a matter of appearance, I think. I might run it without spacers. I can always put them on later. Alright, so I'm running it without spacers. So you non-space people win. It does look a lot prettier, I know. And I do have taller bars than I had before, so there's a good chance it should all work out. Alright, next up I'm going to put on the wheels. I've had to get out my older native VersaForce box. So I can get the 8mm axle because I've been running 12mm for a long time. And then I need the 8mm axle, 30mm wheel spacers. Now I've actually got myself 2 pairs of wheels this time. I've got myself the Proto sliders, black on black, and I've got myself the John Devron signature model North wheels. So I've got the sliders there. I'm just going to put them down because I think I'm going to put the John Dev wheels on first. I got the sliders earlier, as soon as the John Dev wheels came out. I knew I had to have them. 1, because they're John Dev, 2, because North make the best wheels, and 3, because they're 30mm wide by 115 diameter. All of those things which I really, really love. The sliders I got because I've never ridden sliders before, and I want to have a go on them. So I'm going to run both sets of wheels. I'm going to do reviews on both sets of wheels. I'll let you know how they go. But to start off with, we're going to put the John Dev ones on. I'm sure I'll manage to slide a video of the sliders on the build as well. I might use the ones off the shelf behind me, to be honest. They're already out the packaging. And I'm going to ride them, so luckily with native parts, which is probably why I'm riding so many native parts, all I've done is just pick the best stuff. Everything's compatible, so what are these? 30mm wide, 12 standard, 30mm wide, 8 axle. Here we go. I think they've got these in the wrong packets because I can't get it to work, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they have. That's a 12 standard spacer. They're in the wrong packets. Alright. Native do provide. They just sometimes fuck up the labels. Right, now that's sorted. I think I got this. Now it took me a while, but I just put the wheel on and I've noticed something pretty serious, which is it doesn't fit under the brake. Now, there's only one thing to do. Take the whole fucking lot off and take one of those little plastic bits out of the brake. Fuck. Alright, here we go. Let's pull it apart. Alright, so a bit of trial and error along the way, but it's built up this far and it's looking fucking awesome basically as far as I'm concerned. Really nice piece of scootery, so I want to show you something that I worked out while I was fucking around about how to put on grips. I've never done it this way before, but I've never seen it done this way before either. I've seen it done with hairspray, I've seen it done with the fucking air compressor. You can do it with water as well. You just put water on it and it just dries off eventually. That works. Anyway, sorry if I'm being quiet, the baby's asleep. I'm just going to put this over here. And, yeah, so I've got my tilt rigid bars, and I put one grip on and one bar end on. Again, the native Versa, native emblem grips. What are these called? United. It's BMX brand. I don't like BMX, I just like I like metal bar ends. But yeah, have a look at this. I mean, as ridiculous as this looks, it's so funny, but it works. It only takes a couple of minutes too. You just want to sort of put it on over the end and pull down and just tap on it. And like, you just keep tapping for a couple of minutes and it'll be on, and then just put your bar end on. I mean, it took a bit of time, but it's on. And bar end. Make sure it's straight and looks beautiful. Then we just attach the bars to the main thing. It is the nicest scooter I've ever held, and I reckon it's the most technologically advanced scooter that's available, basically. Tell me what you do different, but like, wow. So the scooter's built up and had a look at it. I want to talk a little bit about why I chose the parts I chose. I'll start with the things I took from the previous scooter. So that's the Native Versa fork and the Proto Integratron headset. Both of those amazed me when I first tried them out. So the fork I've been on for, I think it's a bit over a year, maybe bordering on a year and a half. When I first took it out of the box, like just how light it was blew me away after riding like Tilt Tomahawk. Fuck, like the Versa is light as fuck, and compatibility is basically universal. You've got the two axles that come with it, your 8mm and your 12mm, and you've got 3 sets of spacers. Comes with your 12 standard 30mm and your 8 30mm and 24mm. Comes with your top cap and your bolt. It's a really good package. I seriously recommend it as a fork. If you want a fork, get that fork. It's basically the only fork to fuck with. The other object was the Integratron headset by Proto. I like it because it's really low profile. There's basically no top cap, it's just a flat piece. And the bearings are the smoothest bearings of any headset that I've ever used. And at first when I was, just putting whatever in, I thought, well, how different can headset bearings be? But like every bearing is different. So like I noticed the tilt wheel bearings just seem to roll and roll and roll. And I noticed the proto headset bearings are kind of like that. So I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know if it's beneficial that you get that sort of perpetual spin, but it feels cool. Anyway, I really like that headset, recommend that too. Alright, so the new additions, new addition in colour at least is the Native Emblem grips. So I've got that Jaluka colour, it's brown colour, sort of actually, just looking at it, it's almost a sort of grey brown. I think the rest of the range is more of a brown, but the grips look a little bit grey, which I think ties in with my colour scheme pretty well. I've been riding those grips for basically since those grips came out. I gave them a crack straight away and was highly impressed, and have not ridden anything else since, I don't think. As well as that, we've got the North wheels, John Deverand signature North wheels. They're some of my favourite wheels that I've ever seen. I really like the North wheels, as I've probably mentioned by now, and big John Dev fan. His style is just mine. It's just so much fun, just amazingly technical and fun. And the width is the other thing, and the 115 by 30 size. That's something I want at the moment. I'm a bit done with the 125s. I think the diameter is a little bit too big. I think you benefit from a smaller diameter, but the 30 width is really nice. So yeah, the North John Dev SIG wheels on there. That new part. What else is on there? Native Orca SCS. I didn't mean to go with so much native, but like I said, I just picked the best stuff. My other choice was going to be the Tilt Rigid SCS, and the native one just looks better. So, especially on the low profile headset as well, just sits right up against the deck basically, and so it gives you that sort of like look like what you get off the Tilt one, and then you've got all that shapeliness to it that natives put in. So yeah, again, native part. The bars, the 3D forged tube of the Tilt Rigid bars is an amazing invention, and it's like when I picked up the native Versa fork for the first time, just went, fuck, this is like, it feels like just lifting a piece of paper or something. It's so stupidly light, and then you run it and it's a good fork and it goes forever. Well, obviously I haven't run the tilt bars yet, but people swear by them, and just light as air, absolutely light as air. I'm not someone who's had titanium bars before. I don't know what titanium bars are like. I hear they bend because they're thin. This is 3D forged, so it's thick where it needs to be strong, and it's thin where it doesn't need to be as strong, and apparently it all pans out and comes out as this super light, super strong alloy bar. I've been a big fan of T-bars over the years. I'm not sure what it was. I guess it's just because everybody had them. But I don't know, they're nice, they feel nice, they're really tall. I don't need spacers, and they're still fucking really tall. The bar ends are just BMX bar ends. I just buy up metal bar ends when I can, so I've got a whole bunch of different kinds of bar ends. I just got some silver ones that fit in there. I kind of differentiate because there's a certain kind of bar end with a certain kind of screw-in shim thing that you can modify to work with affinity bars. So you've got to modify the bar slightly and the bar end, but you can get them to go on affinity bars, which is why I always was a little bit annoyed at affinity bars because you couldn't get the metal bar ends in there, but we developed a way to do that, and so I sort of differentiate between bar ends that way. These tilt bars are just normal thickness of the tube, so normal bar ends just slide into them. They're United bar ends. Don't know anything about the company, I just liked them. So they're in there. And finally the deck. Again, this is just the whole thing with Native. When the Advent 2 came out, I thought there can't be a better deck than that, basically. It was heavy, but it was just like beautiful, and like I was saying, I think I was saying, I didn't care about the weight of the deck. In fact, it was almost better if it was heavy, because all the people who cared about light scooter gear, you could tell them to go fuck themselves, go ride this thing. But yeah, it was beautiful, and then I've come out with this, and it's like the super light version. It is really a refined piece of scooter technology, the new Advent Refined. Again, haven't ridden it, but just looking at it, feeling it, comparing it to the other one, and almost being about to ride it, and you're basically, you're getting my reaction here as a person who's loved the previous Native deck, and who really loves technology and innovation, and, like I said, just nerding out on all this gear and stuff. So, I guess like in a few days I'll probably be able to get back on the camera and tell you how it all goes. But I'm really looking forward to this. So I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this process. I know the video is a little bit dodgy. I've never filmed a custom build before, and I am doing this all by myself. So it's hard, trying to work out the process and the order of things. So I hope it comes across all right, and I hope I get better at it. But I've really enjoyed doing this. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for coming on the journey with me. If you're interested in any of I hesitate to call it merch, but I guess I have to call it merch, don't I? I'm humble enough to call this merch. I've got, hoodies, I'll make my own t-shirts, I'll post a few more of them on Insta soon. And the grip tape, so you've seen the grip tape that I put on today. I've got a yellow version of that. I've got other matte grip tape designs as well. So if you're interested in that stuff, hit me up on Insta, Delta 9 with the 3 and the 9. Like and subscribe to my channel if you want more, and hopefully there'll be more. Hopefully I'm motivated enough to do another video as much as I've been motivated to do this one, because I just want to get my fucking feet on this motherfucking deck and go for a cruise. Anyway. Join us on Instagram, join us on YouTube. More soon. Peace. Catch you later.